17 minutes in front of 6 o'clock on this Tuesday afternoon. Welcome aboard the post-game show.
The truest form of a post-game show, as we are following an actual game.
We are.
First time since the shows began,
yeah,
right?
We're not doing 3 hours. We're doing about 11 minutes.
Close.
So, yeah, it's kind of the same. But listen, glad to be here. He's Elijah Campbell. I'm Jay Phillips. And we're doing something similar tomorrow, I suppose, because Carolina is scheduled to play at 2 o'clock against the Arkansas Razorbacks. Listen, for those of you who just tuned in, like literally maybe you were in the car and you just heard the Sports Minute and you're like, wait, what's going on? South Carolina just beat Alabama 10-5 in the play-in round of the SEC Tournament. That puts Carolina into the double elim round. Again, Arkansas tomorrow, and then we'll get into all the other particulars later. They needed this. Let's just call it what it was. They needed to win a baseball game, period. End of story. You come in on a 6-game losing streak, and it felt like you were really regressing. In your final couple of games in Knoxville, you scored 1 run. Or you're 17. You scored 3 to open the second game, but then for the last 17 innings, you scored 1 run. And you didn't pitch terribly in the final game against Tennessee, and that was a game, as you said yesterday, well, that's the one you got to go get. And typically you probably would have in this sport, right? Not just this team or this season, and 2 out of 3 is a pretty routine way to finish a series, but you didn't. You got swept twice. And for some fans, there was the nervousness of, hey, are we on the bubble? Oh, my gosh, are we going to make the tournament? And then there's some fans, as we said yesterday, I think it's a smaller faction. I'd just as soon them not make it at this point in time for whatever reasons. But I think for the majority, you're supporting the team, and you got to go out there and get it done. Petrie today was great. Dalton Reeves, grand slam. Jackson, was at least the radio crew's player of the game. I loved it. Derek and Stewart. I'd have voted for Chris Veach because Chris Veach kept Alabama at bay. And at a point in the season where you were not pitching well most of the last few weeks and giving up a lot of runs, Veach came in and did you a solid and then some. So, I mean, they really just needed the win in the worst possible way, Elijah. And they did it today. 3 home runs in 1 inning, a grand slam.
Finally, someone's winning the Palmetto Citizens Federal Credit Union Grand Slam giveaway that we've been teasing for weeks, where the pot just keeps growing and growing and growing, and now it is gargantuan.
That's right. According to this piece of paper that's in front of me, someone today won $1,350 for that grand slam.
Pretty good.
I mean, it took till game 55.
We joked at the beginning of the year that this could be like the Lawyer Lisa special teams touchdown giveaway, because we joked because they didn't get a special teams touchdown all season long until the Vanderbilt game, right, which was the third to last game of the season.
It was in November.
This took it to the extreme.
Yeah. They had the first game of the postseason. They played 54. Typically, you play 56. Carolina played 54 regular season games because of some rain and things. They couldn't make up games. Game 55. And the first grand slam since the regular season last year.
Ethan Petrie against LSU.
Yeah. And that was a shot today, too. So, and again, 3rd home run of the inning. Whatever it takes. You needed to win. I'm looking right now. I don't know. Mark and Matt may not decide who starts until sometime tonight. Mm-hmm. My gut, your gut, says it'll be good because he pitched on Thursday and he wasn't great, but at least in terms of keeping things in flow and rhythm, Ty Good seems like he would be the guy that you give the nod to tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, I like the idea of giving it to Ty Good, give him another chance to try to get you deep into a ball game, and then hopefully you're able to save Garrett Gainey's arm. And in case, look, it's going to be a tall ask to beat this Arkansas team because they're going to be throwing Hagen Smith tomorrow, and that's a guy who's striking out almost 18 per 9 innings, which for you math majors out there, that's 2 an inning. Like the guy deals. Teams haven't beaten Arkansas when Hagen Smith pitches hardly any. I know A&M did, but it took extra innings and a walk-off walk after Arkansas was killed pitchers into their bullpen to do it. It's going to be a tall ask. But if you somehow end up dropping the game tomorrow, you'd like to save Gainey, probably your best pitcher, save his arm for the elimination game.
I agree. Yeah, and I don't see him going tomorrow. But good, I think could. Veach gave you a lot today. You didn't use that many arms today, and SQ didn't do much. I mean,
only 3.
Yeah, I mean Becker. Let me pull the box score back up. How long did Becker go?
Becker went for 2 innings, and it only accounted for 39 pitches.
Yeah.
Veach went 5 2/3 and only expended 67, which is pretty impressive.
It is actually.
The way this team has pitched and struggled to pitch at times this year, I think the most impressive thing too is that you went through 3 pitchers today. Now 3 hit batters, but no walks.
Right.
None.
That's impressive. That is. Carolina only walked twice today, hit 4 home runs.
It's the aggressiveness that we asked for, that we talked about yesterday. I mean, you're going to have to be able to take advantage of this. You kind of can't sit back and try to, work every single count for walks. You got guys that can knock the ball out of the park, and traditionally that's not something that happens a ton in Hoover, but you got to be able to utilize those bats, man. Today they did. To their credit, they were aggressive at the plate, and I think that teams are going to throw them strikes because they know how well they work the count and get walks.
So Jackson, 3 hits today, 3 for 5, 2 runs scored. Petrie, 3 for 5 with a homer, 2 runs scored. Messina today, 3 for 4, 3 batted in, a homer, 2 runs scored. And again, Reeves with the grand slam. So a really strong day. Casas had a RBI and hit. He was 2 for 3 today as well. Jones and Messina, the only 2 Gamecocks to walk. So you needed the W. You got it. I do. Listen, I know Elijah agrees, so I will speak for him on this one. I don't like to always do that, but we both felt that South Carolina was into the field of 64 regardless of today's outcome. I will admit that losing today would cause a few more beads of sweat on the forehead and upper lip to appear.
Heart palpitations.
Yeah, I can appreciate that. I think this should allay any fear or concern that you had for those of you who did have it. And, now you can maybe, I don't want to say you can loosen up a little bit. Listen, I don't really envision a scenario, unfortunately, for this ball club to host again without winning this event. And I don't believe they're going to win this event. They don't have the arms to win this event, in my opinion. Crazy stuff happens. So, and the fact is, you're into a double elim. So, you might have opportunities. Who knows? And if you could find a way to stretch this to a 4th game on Friday in whatever capacity, then, so be it. But regardless, I think this should put any concerns to the side now about Carolina making it. And this should allow, too, I think, Mark and Matt to set things up and really figure out who's doing what. Like Veach is going to stay in the bullpen, right? But does Good go back to the bullpen if he has another rough outing? SQ, after a brilliant performance against Kentucky, has lost his way. I don't know. Again, Mark told us after the Missouri game that Dylan had some arm soreness. He told us that on the air, not privately. He told us that on our regular interview with him. Is there still something there with Dylan Eskew that's just lingering? And, while he may still have some velocity and some moments, some flashes, today he didn't give you much.
No.
So, who else? Again, Gainey, you figure, has moved himself in. Jones wasn't terrible and wasn't great the other day, but you think Jones is going to stick with his role. So what does this allow you to do to set things up for next week, wherever you may go? And, I haven't seen the Baseball America projections. The last D1 yesterday had Carolina going to Charlottesville as a 3.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think you're still in that ballpark.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter at this point where it is that you're going to be sent. You just need to have your arms fresh and ready to go, and you need to have a renewed sense of confidence. Now, again, you'll get Arkansas tomorrow, as you said. The last time you faced this pitcher, you went toe-to-toe. You
pushed it to the end.
Yeah, you lost 2-1. does that help you? And in a bigger ballpark, I don't know.
Well, like if you get anything out of your bullpen, like you got from Becker and Veach today, because we talked a lot about Veach doing what he did, 6 strikeouts, no walks. Matthew Becker came in with runners on second and third with 1 out, and Alabama threatening, and strikes out 2 straight batters. You get that type of performance from your bullpen to where you can get out of some jams, stay in the game. Something can happen because you did play, like you said, you did play them all the way to extras. Not extra. I don't think it went to extras.
No, it didn't.
No,
but you still, but you had an opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you played well against one of the 2 or 3 best pitchers in the country. And again, you're going to see him tomorrow afternoon. So, we'll see. But again, they needed a win just for their own feeling between the ears. And I'll admit, early on, it felt like they weren't sharp. 3 straight innings. Bama made 3 really, really solid defensive plays. And in those same 3 innings, Carolina had a couple that you were like, what the heck, man? But the bats picked you up and then got you going, and then a grand slam kind of sealed the deal, added a couple of insurance runs. 10-5 victors today over Alabama. So the Tide are done. Carolina, Arkansas tomorrow, scheduled for 2 o'clock with airtime. They were on a little longer today, so stay tuned to Gamecock Baseball for more on that. For Elijah, I'm Jay. Good to be with you.
Good show.
And before I get you out of here, let me tell you about our good friends at AAA Heating and Air. For a long time now. I'm not sure how many years it's been, to be honest with you. A long time. Roy and Dana have been keeping folks nice and comfortable, myself included. Even Bill Gunner. And it's hard to keep Bill Gunner comfortable. He's very ornery. But AAA Heating and Air has found a way, and they're ready to help you out, too. And check this out. Guaranteed financing on a brand new system, plus no payments or interest for 1 whole year if you buy in 2024. A $1,500 system buyback and a 15-year parts and labor guarantee. Seriously, if you need a new system, now has to be the time to get one. Take advantage of those amazing opportunities. Get a free quote. Call AAAtoday.com, or you can call them up, 803-677-1500. Stay nice and comfortable like I have, and Gunner, and many of your friends with AAA Heating and Air.